Hello everybody. So today I'm going to discuss new chapter, that is physical and chemical change. You all see several changes around yourself. And these changes are what? These changes are important feature of the nature. Some common changes which we observe in nature and in our surroundings are changes of day and night, changes of climate, then what, rainfall, melting of ice. So these are some changes that we see around us. Okay? So first we will discuss, there are many changes. So first we will discuss about the physical change and means different types of changes. So first we will discuss about the slow change. Slow change means what? Slow change means what? The change that take place longer time, means the change that take place for longer time to complete are called slow changes, and these changes may take what? Hours, days, months, or even years to occur. Okay, and there are many examples of slow changes. So some are like a young boy when grow old. This is what? Slow change. It takes many years. Then the germination of seeds takes what? Days. Same way, rusting of iron, tooth decay, freezing of water. So they all are the examples of which type of change? Slow change. Clear? Now next is the fast change. Fast change means what? Just opposite of a slow change. The changes that take place in a very short interval of time are called fast change. And what are the examples? Like bursting of cracker, lightning of an electric bulb. Clear? Then bursting of an inflated balloon. They are what? Very fast. They occur very fast. So they are the examples of fast changes. Okay. Now next is natural changes and man-made changes. So natural changes means what? Natural changes means changes that take place in nature by themselves. They are called as what? Natural changes, and they are never ending because they are not in our control. They occur naturally. And what are the examples of the natural changes? Like change of day and night, then change of season, earthquake. They are what? They are the natural changes. Means we are not responsible. Means these changes are not in our hand. Clear? So that means these changes are occurring themselves in the nature. Next is the man-made changes, just opposite of natural changes. Any change that occur due to the what? Due to any changes that occurs due to the efforts of human beings is called as what? Man-made changes. There are many examples like the formation of steel from raw iron, making a kite from a piece of paper, preparing chapatis from wheat flour. So they are what? They are the man-made changes. Now next one is periodic changes. Periodic changes is very clear by the name, that changes that are repeated at what? Regular. This is very important. This is the key word of this definition. So repeated at regular intervals of time, they are called as what? Periodic changes. And what are the examples of the periodic changes? Change of day and night, change of season, full moon and new moon nights, development of high tides and low tides in the sea. They are what? Examples of periodic changes. But one more type of changes is that is the non-periodic changes. Very clear by the name, it is just opposite of what? Periodic changes. So changes that are not repeated at regular intervals and occur irregularly are called non-periodic changes, and these changes can occur at any time and they do not have any periodicity. Clear? So what are the examples of the non-periodic changes? Landslides, earthquake. Clear? They are what? They are the non-periodic changes. Even in our day-to-day life also, like when we get fever, sneeze, when we get headache, they are what? They are the non-periodic changes. So these are some non-periodic changes that occur around as well as within us. Now the next is desirable change, and next is the reversible change and irreversible changes. Okay, so reversible changes means what? When a change in a substance When a change in a substance can be reversed by changing the conditions, it is called as a reversible change. For example, melting of wax, clear? Melting of wax, preparation of what? Melting of wax and evaporation of water. This also we can see. So vaporization of water. This is wrong here. It should be vaporization of water. Clear? Vaporization of water. So these are the examples of the reversible change. Now next one is irreversible change. Irreversible change means what? If a substance cannot be brought back to its original state after a change, it is called as irreversible change. For example, on burning paper, a piece of paper changes to ash. It is an irreversible change because paper cannot be obtained back from ash. So there are many examples also, like there are many examples for this irreversible changes, like rusting of iron, souring of milk, burning of candle, burning of wood, ripening of fruits. So they all are what? They all are the examples of irreversible changes. Clear? Now next one is physical change and chemical change. So first we will discuss about the physical change. A physical change is what? A physical change is a temporary, clear? A physical change is a temporary change in which no new substance is formed. Okay, and the chemical composition of the original substance remains the same, even though some of its physical properties like color, state, shape, size, they etc. may change, but their original substance remains always the same. Means the composition of the original substance always remains the same. And the examples are what? Like the interconversion of states of matter. Interconversion of states of matter I have discussed earlier also. Means what? When water changes, it's like best example is that when water changes into vapor, and then vapor changes into ice, or we can say ice changes into water changes into vapor, then again vapor changes into water, and water again changes into ice. So this is what? This is the interconversion of states of matter. Then the preparation of sugar solution. This is also what? Example of physical change. Now the characteristics of physical change. So what are the characteristics of physical change? So the first one is what? The first one is no new substance is formed. Clear? This is the, and you will find that all the characteristics are given in the definitions. So if you have learned the definition, clear? If you have learned the definition, means all the characteristics you can write separately, whatever separated by comma in the definition, that you can write as a point. So the first one is no new substance is formed. Second one, properties of the substance remain same. I have discussed here also. You can see the chemical composition of the original substance what? Remains same. And third one, the change is temporary. It is given here also. The change is temporary, and there is no change in the composition of substance. There is no change in the composition of a substance. Clear? So once you learn, once you have learned this definition of physical change, means you can write the characteristics of physical change also, because there is no difference. Okay, all the points of characteristics of physical change included in the definition, and all the points included in this definition is also you can write in the characteristics of physical change. Clear? Now here are some terms that involved in the physical change, like first is what? First is dissolving. First point that you have to discuss is dissolving. What is dissolving? So it is a process in which a substance known as solute mixes completely with another substance known as solvent to form a homogeneous mixture, and this homogeneous mixture is called as what? Solution. Like example, when sugar dissolves in water. Another one is freezing. Clear? Freezing is what? The process in which a substance in liquid state changes into its solid state on cooling at a particular temperature is called freezing or solidification. Next is the freezing point. What is freezing point? Just means whatever you have written, whatever you have learned for freezing, same line you can write for freezing point also, but some points, some words you have to add. What is that? The temperature at which. Remember, clear? Only you have to learn for freezing point, you have to learn this word, these extra words that you can add with the definition of freezing. What is that? The temperature at which, till here only, and after that you can write the definition of freezing. So the you can notice here also, the temperature at which a liquid starts changing into its solid state is called as freezing point. Okay, so pure water freezes at which temperature? 0 degree Celsius. Clear? Pure water freezes at which temperature? 0 degree Celsius. Now next is melting. So what is melting? Melting, it is a process in which a substance in solid state changes into liquid state at a particular temperature. This is called as what? Melting. And melting point, again for melting point the same thing I suggest you, only you learn the temperature at which, and after that you can write whatever you have learned for the definition of melting. So you have to add these words only for the melting point. Means you don't have to learn so many things. Once you have learned the melting, you can write the definition of melting point. What you have to do? You have to add only these words before the definition of melting. Okay, so the temperature at which solid starts melting is called as what? Melting point. Okay, so melting point of ice is 0 degree Celsius. Clear? Now next is what? Boiling. So what is boiling? The process in which a liquid on heating changes into its vapor state at a particular temperature is called boiling. So this is about the boiling. Now next is boiling point. Again same process. Clear? What you have to do? You have to add this, the temperature at which, and after that you have to write the definition of boiling. So boiling point means the temperature at which a liquid starts changing into its vapors on heating at a given pressure is called its boiling point. And all pure liquids have definite boiling point. For example, like boiling of water is what? Means water boils at 100 degree Celsius. So you know water boils at what? 100 degree Celsius. Next is evaporation. What is evaporation? The process due to which a substance in liquid state changes into its vapor state at any temperature below its boiling point is called as what? Evaporation or vaporization. Okay, so water from rivers, lakes, what? Changes into vapor due to evaporation. Okay, now next is the condensation. What is condensation? So in one line I can tell you, it's very easy way to understand that in evaporation water changes into vapor, whereas in condensation vapor changes into water. Okay, so but you have to write nicely. So how will you write? The process in which a substance in vapor or gaseous state changes into liquid state upon cooling is called condensation. Okay, then condensation point, again for condensation point same process, the temperature, what you have to add? These words, the temperature at which or the temperature in which. Clear? So you prefer to write at. So the temperature at which a gaseous substance starts changing into liquid state is called condensation point. Okay, now next is the difference between, this question must have come in your mind, that what is the difference between the evaporation and boiling. Clear? Because in both the water get heated. We increase the temperature, we heat the water, we provide heat to the water. So what is the difference between the evaporation and boiling? So the first difference is that evaporation is a slow process and boiling is what? Very fast process. Evaporation takes place from the surface of the liquid, whereas boiling takes place from all parts of the liquid, means from the lower part of the liquid, which is in direct contact of water, heat. Okay, then the third difference, evaporation takes place at all temperatures below its boiling point, and boiling takes place at a fixed temperature on heating, because boiling point of each and every liquid is fixed. Clear? And before boiling point, if we heat that liquid, then it get evaporated, and if the temperature reaches to boiling point, then it becomes what? The process becomes the boiling. Okay, now Next is the conditions affecting evaporation. So we should know the detail about the evaporation, because we know the definition. We have studied the definition. We have studied how evaporation is different from the boiling. Now we will study that how means what are the conditions that affect evaporation. Clear? So the first condition that affect evaporation is nature of liquid. Some liquids evaporate very fast, like petrol, nail polish remover, alcohol. You must have noticed also. And while some evaporate water, very slow, very slowly. What is this? Water. Clear? Next is the surface area. If the surface area is more, then evaporation increases, and if the surface area is less, then the evaporation is also less. Clear? So more surface area, more evaporation. Less surface area, less evaporation. Okay. Now next, third point is what? Temperature. So temperature means what? Evaporation increases when the temperature increases. Clear? So this is also directly related. And the fourth point is what? Humidity. So humidity means what? Humidity is the amount of water vapor present in air. So if humidity of air is high, then evaporation will be what? Slow. And if air is dry, then the evaporation is what? Fast. So it is indirectly related, humidity and evaporation. More humidity, less evaporation. Less humidity, more evaporation. Means when less humidity means what? When the air is dry, without water vapor, means when air is without water vapor, then the rate of evaporation is very high. Clear? Then you must have noticed also, like wet clothes dry faster during summer. Why? Due to high temperature and less humidity. While they take time in drying during what? Rainy season. In this season, you must have noticed that it takes much time. Even in winter also, it takes much time. Why? Because of what? High humidity. Okay. Now, next is a chemical change. Chemical change is what? Chemical change just opposite of physical change. Like physical change is a temporary change, then it is what? Permanent change. In physical change, no new substance formed. Here, new substance formed. Here, in physical change, the composition remains same. In this, the composition get different from the original substance. So we can define chemical change like this. A chemical change is a permanent change in which new substance formed whose chemical composition and physical and chemical properties are what? Properties are completely different from those of the original substance. Okay. So for example, rusting of iron and ripening of fruits. Burning of paper also. This is also what? Chemical change. So first we will discuss that what is burning. If I have used this term, then of course I should explain you that what is burning. Burning is what? Burning is a chemical change in which a substance reacts with oxygen to produce a new substance called oxide with the evolution of energy in the form of heat. Like when burning of fuel takes place, then what happens? Heat takes place. Clear? We feel the presence of heat. Next is rusting. Rusting is what? Rusting is a chemical process in which iron reacts with oxygen in presence of moisture to produce a reddish brown substance that is called as what? Rust. So if separately it is asked what is rust, clear? So then you will write this line, because that is what? This one is what? This one is the definition of rusting. So for rust you can write it is a reddish brown substance that produced in the process of rusting. It is called as what? Rust. Next, another term you will get is that is charcoal. What is charcoal? Clear? So charcoal is what? It is a black residue that we get after heating the sugar. This is called as what? Charcoal. Clear? So this definition is not given very clearly, so you can write from here. Now the next one is the characteristics of a chemical change. Again I'll tell you whatever given in the definition, that you can write in the form of characteristics also. Clear? Like first characteristics, it is a permanent and cannot be reversed. Composition and properties of the original substance change. One or more new substances are formed and there is an exchange of energy. Clear? So there is a exchange of is, you can write here, of. So there is an exchange of energy. Okay. Now next is the chemical reaction. A chemical change is generally called as what? A chemical reaction. So this you can write for the definition of chemical reaction. In chemical reaction, what happens? Reactants and products, two things are there. So the first one is what? Reactant. Clear? So the correct spelling of reactant is REACTANT. This is the correct spelling of reactant. So the original substance in a chemical reaction is called reactant. Okay, and the product is also here. So the new substance formed in a chemical reaction is called as what? Product. Okay. Now if the question is that name chemical changes which take place in the presence of heat, then what will you write? You will write in the presence of heat what? Cooking of food takes place, burning of paper takes place. Then in presence of light, photosynthesis takes place and photography takes place. And in presence of electricity, decomposition of water into hydrogen and oxygen takes place. Clear? Now one very interesting thing is here, that burning candle. Burning candle is a good example in this physical change and chemical change, both you can see. Clear? So burning candle shows both physical and chemical change. Clear? So what happened in burning candle? In burning candle, when a candle is lit, the wax melts. Clear? And melting of wax is what? Physical change. Remember, in burning candle, melting of wax is a physical change. But simultaneously what happened? Most of the molten wax rises up the wick, turns into vapor and burns with the flame. And two new substances form there. What is that? Water vapor and carbon dioxide. Candle becomes smaller and smaller, and this is what? Chemical change. So physical change, what you observe as a physical change when the candle burns? Yes, melting of wax. And what you observe as a chemical change when wick when candle burns, then two new substances form there, water vapor and carbon dioxide, and that you cannot get it back. Clear? And this is, this is one of the characteristics of the chemical change, that we cannot get the original substance back. So burning of candle is good example to show that physical change and chemical change take place simultaneously. Okay. Now few questions here I have done. Like first, what do you observe when water is boiled? So when water is boiled, its liquid changes into what? Its liquid changes into vapor when water boils. What happens when we burn a piece of paper? Then your answer will be, it turns into ash, and ash cannot be changed into paper again. Clear? Next question is that when we put some ice cubes in a glass tumbler containing water, what we observe? So your answer will be, we will observe that after few minutes the ice cubes has started changing into liquid. Clear? Means ice cubes starts melting. Okay. Next, when we take some solid ammonium chloride in a test tube and heat it gently, what we observe? We observe that a solid changes into what? Vapors. Because this is ammonium chloride is what? Sublimate. Okay, and it go through the process of sublimation. Next is what we will observe. We will observe the reddish brown containing the nail. Clear? So here the question will be what? That an iron nail is kept in tap water for few days, then what will happen? So you can write, when an iron nail is kept in tap water for few days, then we observe the reddish brown substance present where? Reddish brown coating on the nail. Clear? This is called the process of rusting. Next is that we will observe, means the question is, a spoon of sugar is heated in a pan. what you observe? Then you will write that we observe that first the sugar first melts and then changes in its color to reddish brown, and we get what? We get charcoal. Clear? This is called as what? Charcoal. Okay. Now next is that a lighted matchstick is brought near the mouth of the test tube containing hydrogen gas. What happens? Then you will write, if we bring the lighted matchstick near the mouth of one test tube, a pop sound is heard. Clear? This is the characteristics of which gas? Hydrogen gas. That hydrogen gas burns with the pop sound. In higher classes also, when this question comes, you can write very clearly that whenever hydrogen burns, it produces a pop sound. Clear? So a pop sound is heard and the flame of the matchstick get what? Extinguished. Next question is that a quicklime is dissolved in water, then what you observe? So when we put 1 or 2 pieces of quicklime in beaker, we will observe that the quicklime piece first crumble and then dissolve in water. Okay, so this much is only for this video. I hope all the topics must have become clear and all the questions that I have discussed is also clear to all of you. Thank you very much. Please subscribe this channel. Make this channel popular among your friends and among your family members. Thank you very much.